Okay, so now this is we just reviewed Wednesday because we had a C2 closure. Tuesday swept Monday. Now Wednesday went higher. We took this trade. We took this long. That's considered C3. Now we are trading C4 because when they expanded, which is C3, we have a chance that C4 can do the same thing. So same thing. Midpoint of Wednesday. Grab a Fibonacci. Put midpoint of Wednesday. You want the upper part to be respected, which it did. You put Wednesday's low, Wednesday's high here, here. I left this 1 day C2 closure for your visual. So now once you have that bias, that framework, right? So it'll look something like this a day prior. Now you're anticipating that Thursday is gonna go like that because of the same framework, right? We're trading C4 now on the daily chart. So I have a bias, right? Again, that's the most important thing for me to have, a daily bias. Once you have that, then you now can go to the 1 hour chart. And in the 1 hour chart, you have basically what I showed on the previous slide, and you're gonna start to see things repeat a lot of the times. Um, you're gonna notice that. Look at how Thursday opened. Thursday opened low, right? This is the open, that line that I drew. It went lower, right? When it opened at 1800 hours, it went lower. Then it expanded higher, changing the state of the liver here in during Asia, telling you that potentially the Thursday wick is in, right? Same thing as the previous breakdown that I just did. So now what do? We now start to look for our C2 closures, right? We see which one in this day, for full disclosure, I posted my loss as well, so you can go and track it. I took a loss this day and then I'll explain why. But you have 9 o'clock essentially sweeping 8 o'clock, so now I'm expecting 10 o'clock to go higher, right? But if you notice here, 10 o'clock when retraced pretty deep into it did not respect 9 o'clock's midpoint. You see how this is 9 o'clock right here? That's why we put the midpoint of that candle, right? You notice how 9 o'clock, the body, I'm sorry, 10 o'clock, the body went below the midpoint of 9. You want the body to stay above. You don't want it to stay below, right? So that one failed, and that's where I got caught on. And then 10 o'clock sweeps 9 o'clock. Now, if we put a Fibonacci there, a midpoint of 9 o'clock, you'll notice that. I'm sorry, hold on. On the midpoint of 10 o'clock candle, you notice that 11 o'clock stayed above it. Look at, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger so you can see it better. You see that line there? 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock's body, it's above that line. It's not like 10 o'clock did to 9 o'clock, right? So it did respect it. That's why it's very important for us to mark the midpoints of the previous candles, right? So 9 o'clock midpoint fell because 10 o'clock bodies went below it, that blue line right there. And then since 10 o'clock swept 9 o'clock, now I put the midpoint of 10, and then look at how 11 o'clock did it. Okay, so now you have your C2 closure. Once you have your C2 closures here, you drop into your 5 minute, right? Now you have permission to go to the lower time frame because now you formulated something that you think that you might have a high chance or high probability to execute this one. So now we go into the 5 minute chart. This day was pretty choppy. You can see like there's no gaps between the candles. It just everything next to each other. No expansion. It goes, it comes back into the range. It goes, and then finally it went. But uh, this blue line here is the midpoint of 9 o'clock, right? So 9 o'clock swept 8. Showcase here. 9 o'clock swept 8. Now I expect 10 to go higher. But notice how 10 o'clock here, it did not open low to go high. It opened high and then it went lower. The moment we pierce this line here, we disrespected 9 o'clock midpoint. So there, the play is invalidated. Okay, we disrespected that. This is where I took the loss. When we went above this down close candle, I was anticipating, and that was my mistake, that this was gonna hold here, or this was gonna hold here, and price open high, and then it took me out. What I should have done is allow 10 o'clock to open low and look for my change instead of delivery. I never had a change instead of delivery here, never had a change instead of delivery here. Then 11 opens, look at what happens. Because we swept 10 o'clock, swept 9 o'clock here. Now we expect 11 to go higher, right? So when 11 o'clock opens low, that's what we like. Then it goes high, changes the state of delivery here at 11:15. That could be your entry. You put your stop. You could put it at the swing low, but you could put it at the, I mark point 0.5 for this wick, and then price shouldn't go back there. Because if he's gonna come here, he's gonna come and take this out, and your play is invalidated. But notice how opening high and then going low is what caused this to fail and not allowing 10 o'clock to go lower. Now 11 open, since we had a different closure here, a sweep, 10 swept 9, we expect 11 to go higher. 11 opens low, goes back up, changes the state of delivery here. You put your stop loss here, you shoot for two. In this case, he gave 3R more, I think more because he went higher. Um, these are obvious. You could have done 2R right here, but this was London high, and I initially wanted London high. Anyway, so price comes back one more time, but it never takes this. So you shouldn't have, if you panic and move your stop into profit, then you would have gotten kicked out. But um, it then consolidates some more, and then it goes. Now, I'm going to mark point 0.5 of 10 o'clock, right? That's why it's very important to mark the midpoint, right? I'm sorry, not the midpoint this time. I have to do, when you have a long wick, you mark the point 0.5 of the wick of 10 o'clock here. So notice how 11 came down. The body never laid below the midpoint of this. So he respected it. That's what we want to see. Um, the body respecting midpoint of that. Now, if we go and I give you another visual of 9 o'clock, since 9 o'clock doesn't have a long wick, I'm going to do the entire body. Notice how 10 o'clock body close below here. It's respected it. We don't want that. The wick, if we would have done this here, that would have been okay, right? But it didn't. The body stayed there. So that's how it invalidated. So on the first setup, it was invalidated. I got kicked out. I didn't re-enter again, but then 11 o'clock gave a nice setup, even though you had to be patient because it took a while. You put your stop here. You could put it a swing low too, because you would have you would have still gotten 2R from here. Check it out, 2.49R. So you still could get your profits there if you would have put it there, but I would have put it there maybe. And again, now you had the C2 closure here on the hourly here. And then you also had it on the 4 hour. Remember, I just said on my last breakdown, when you have two like that, aligning with the daily candle is high probability, even though this was kind of nasty. It still played out. So again, you are going along with C4, which is the daily candle. You look for your C2 closures on the hourly, which we had. And then in this case, we had a 4 hour C2 closure as well. And then you're aligning the 4 hour, the 1 hour with the daily candle. And then you wait for your changes to the delivery. The biggest takeaway here is allow the candle that you're trading, in this case was 10 o'clock, to open low and then go high and give you a change instead of delivery. I could have avoided a loss here, but hey, it happens. But yeah, this was a high probability as well. So let me know if you have any questions.